Yes.
You are coming here. She is not coming.
Okay. Om Pranaya Namah.
Om Pranaya Namo.
Yasya sarvamidam vashe.
Yasya sarvamidam vashe.
Yo bhutah sarvasyeshvaro.
Yo bhutas sarvasvaro.
Yasmin sarvam pratishthitam.
Yasmin sarvam pratishtitam.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay. So, any questions are there for today? Yeah, go ahead, Vidya.
So it says that God created two things, Rai and the other one, which is equivalent to prana, and we actually deduce that it is the soul that carries the life breath, kind of. But did God produce the souls, or were they always there?
Good question. This was troubling me a little bit in the beginning also. Then I looked at the thing carefully, and if you see, it says he created the couple. So sa tapas tapva sam mithunam utpadayate. So he created the couple of them. Okay, that means he didn't create matter and he didn't create soul, but the joint thing he created, which is the living being, which is the praja. So yeah, and even the of course in the making of the praja, you had to have the changes in matter as well. Matter as it existed in the beginning was not good enough to create beings.
Oh, so that is why you had written in the text that he created the living beings and he had created the inanimate matter, both, right?
Yeah.
I think in your text you had written that. What in your notes you had written that.
So in the same verse, who is being referred to as Prajapati?
God. Praja Kamo ve Prajapati. So the Lord of the beings, that is God.
Okay.
Why the confusion?
Uttara?
Yeah.
Me?
It's okay, Uma.
I mean, I need to think about it a little bit more. Maybe I'll have more questions later on.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead, Kala.
Yeah.
No, when we did the previous, the Vedic verses, no, Uttara, there in the creation, early creation, didn't we study that the souls were there?
So souls are here also.
No, but they were not in the body form, right? There were souls and there was matter.
Yes. Correct.
So here you're saying that we have gone straight to the body. Is that it?
Yeah. So see, don't look upon this as a timescape of the evolution, like you were seeing in Satya Sukt. This is a metaphorical Upanishad, number one. That is why it is not very popular and not very well understood, because there are metaphors in this. Number two, this is not giving you everything on a time scale. It is giving you generic fundas about creation. So firstly, it is splitting the whole of creation as we see it today into two parts. One is the living part and one is the non-living part. Okay. And that they are talking about that in the beginning, he desired to lord it over beings. Okay. So that is his job, that he has to create beings and he has to monitor them, he has to give them the consequences of their actions. So that is his role in this whole thing. As you were remembering, Ahan, and had told Ahan that there is a limit to which you can ask questions. So this is his swabhav, and it is our swabhav to be the beings and to enjoy nature and to strive towards seeing him as well. Okay, so that is our swabhav. So as per his swabhav, he made the universe, which finally landed up into two kinds of things: living things, non-living things.
Okay.
Okay.
I also have a very, let me qualify, very stupid questions, Uttara.
No, stupid questions here.
In the sense that I have read it only once because last class I was not there, and I have also listened to it just once. But then I'm thinking, is this by referring to the sun and the moon? Is it limiting it to in the context of, I won't say new knowledge, but in the context of so many other, books or so many other references that mankind had long back understood that there are so many other universes, and our universe is only one of the so many. So is this limiting it to, in the sense that as Saint Pipla saw, or as he explained, is it limiting it to just one sun, one moon, and then the creatures on the earth?
So that is a good question. And so what it tells us also is that generally you will find beings where there will be a sun and there will be, of course, a planet like Earth, and probably there will be a moon. Anyway, so whatever it is,
so there will always be the, whatever you are saying, the nimitta karana and whatever else I can't offhand. But then you're saying the concept will be the same wherever you find life. Is that correct?
as far as the sun is concerned, definitely. The moon is generally to be will also come along as the package, but this Upanishad is written by a person on earth, writing with things which are available for earth. Okay. So while there is a scientific angle to all this and there is a vijnan which is being transmitted to us, don't take it as the end of knowledge which is being given here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, since so shall we do a quick recap?
Yes.
So I will ask you one by one. So the third one is anyway easy. Who wants to take it up? Third is very easy. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah. Oh, so third is the one that Kabandin, who's Katyayana's descendant, he came and asked that how did all the living beings come about? Like, how does this creation happen? Yes. So he wanted to understand that. He wanted to understand the reasons for the creation.
Correct. The causes, I would say, rather than
causes. Yeah, not reasons. The karanas.
Yeah. Then next one, tasmai sa huvacha praja kamo ve prajapati satapotapyata. Who wants to take this up? Shyama, if you want
Can I
to.
try?
Yeah. You're muted, Shyama.
Okay, so Rishi Pipala is answering the question, saying that Paramatma, that is the eternal Father, who is the Nimitta Karan, he desired to have children. So he put forth his energy in the form of heat and produced two creatures, Prana, the life, that is the male version, and Rai, the matter, who is the female version. So then he said, these are the ones who are going to make the children of many natures, different natures.
Okay, you have added your own color to it. That's good.
Oh, really? Where?
This father and children and all is not covered here. So
Okay.
it's okay. It's good.
Yeah, I studied there's a little bit of touch of Bible in the way she described.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry about it. I meant to say that.
Sorry, it's okay.
We enjoyed it.
Like I took it. It's a good interpretation, though.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing biblical about it.
Okay, next one. Adityo have prano. Raireva Chandrama. Rairva etat sarvam yanmutam.
Okay, I'll just take it. So here, continuing, you can say Prajapati is saying this, or it's a generic statement. So
Prajapati is saying it.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So here,
Not Prajapati, sorry, Pippalad.
Oh, sorry, the Guru, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, the people I say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is kind of now actually enumerating what you see here in this wonderful nature, the very sun god. He is like the prana and Chandra is like the material. I mean, representation of these two. So a beautiful distinction because sun is the energy giver and moon is like the absorber sense. So the two forms that were described earlier as the so-called twins are described as Aditya and Chandrama in a nice simile here. So, and also he further goes on to say, don't then assume that Chandrama is the only material things and Aditya is only prana. No, Rairvayat Sarvam Yanmurtam Chamurtam. So he's saying the Rai represents both the Murta and the Amurta, the material stuff and the Tanmatra stuff, you can say.
The formless and the one with form.
So Rai represents both. That's what he's saying. Okay.
So what does Aditya represent?
The energy.
No, it's the undestructible.
Prana.
But at a deeper level, it is actually referring to the soul.
Yeah, we were going to say that in the next verse, Uttara.
So it is applicable here.
Thanks for defending us.
I think Uttara explained that Aditya is undestructible.
Yes,
so
indestructible.
So it's not to be understood
soul.
as just the sun, but the soul, which is undestructible soul, which is also a nimitta karan for this formation.
Correct. And then why is Chandrama called Rai? Or why is rather Rai called Chandrama?
Material object gives happiness, and so it's a cause and effect. The Chandrama produces happiness, and so do the material objects. So it's being compared to Rai.
Yes, right. Correct. Then Athaditya Udayam Yat Prachim Disham Pravishati. This is also fairly easy.
Okay, if there are no takers, I'll take it, but others should take it up.
Yeah, I can take it up. Whoever's left. Prashanti and Uma. Try. It's not very difficult. This is
Atha is now, Aditya is sun.
give a gist. You don't have to go word by word.
So the sun rises in the east and with its rays gives prana to all the beings. Like in south, west, north,
Correct.
and
All the directions. Yeah.
All the directions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tena sarvan pranan rashmishu sannidhatte. Prashanti, you want to take it up?
So because of which,
sorry, go ahead.
Sarvan is all.
Yeah.
So with its entering the soul from every direction, it gives the what do I say, the prana to the creatures, or nurtures the pranas from every direction, if that's
So who is nurturing the pranas from every direction?
The sun.
Sun.
Aditya.
Aditya. So in the previous stanza, what is it that we equated Aditya to?
The soul.
Aditya.
The soul, the indestructible.
Yes, the soul, exactly. So it is the soul which, when it enters this material capsule, then it spreads its powers through prana to every cell in the body and makes it a living cell. So that is why every cell in the body which the soul occupies is living.
But Bhagini, at the same time, actually in this dual interpretation, the deeper sense is, yes, the soul is the one that is the prana prakasha inside the body, but the Aditya is literally the soul energy provider for all the souls here, at least on this earth.
Not
Without
soul
him,
energy, but the pranic energy. Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So that is true. So that is the sun provides energy to the beings. In fact, it is a generator of life. Without the sun, there could be no life. That is definitely a fact which is also being alluded to over here. So this is an allegory. So I wanted to, in fact, tell you about this metaphor which is used. It is called an allegory, where you are saying something on the surface, which is true, which holds. There is nothing inconsistent about it. But below that is the real message. So what is not on the surface is what is actually being said. So here we are seeing that something has been said about the sun and the moon. The allegory to the moon was very limited and it couldn't go too far, because when you say sarvam yan murtam yacha murtam, then there itself, the equality with the moon is gone. But that with the sun is a very long attribution, which is going to continue in a few more paras. So I wanted to give you an example of this. So for example, we say a word, a sentence, this is a book. Okay, now this is a simple sentence. It just means that whatever is being pointed to, it is a book. Now you can say another sentence, this girl is a flower. Okay, now this sentence is obviously incorrect in the as it is. Okay, so there is no point in looking for petals in the girl, or looking for sepals in the girl, or some stamens and pistil. What is being implied? you are saying that the girl shares one attribute with the flower, which is prettiness. So she is as beautiful as a flower. So that is why you are calling her a flower only. This is called Rupa Kalankar, and it is called a metaphor in English. So you call her only a flower. So you don't have the distinction at all. Okay. Here you are able to see that obviously the girl is not a flower, and therefore there is a metaphor involved. When you cannot see the metaphor at all, and there is a deeper meaning which is being carried on, that is called an allegory. So on the surface, whatever meaning is being given will be meaningful, will be correct. But actually what is being said is something different. Okay, now this attribute, let us just stay with this. This girl is a flower sentence. Now, if we put it in a context and not just take a sentence out of nowhere, and we say that this girl is like a flower, she is a flower, she I don't feel like touching her, then the concept of frailty which exists in the flower is also being attributed to her. So in this upama which is there, this similarity which you are creating between the girl and the flower, you have now two attributes from the flower which you are assigning to the girl. One is the prettiness and one is her frailty. So like this, you can have an upama which either is manages only on at one attribute level, or it is several attributes which you attribute to the upameya, the thing which is being compared. But always there will be only those many attributes which will be shared between the upaman, that is the flower, and the upameya, that is the girl. If they shared all attributes, then the girl would be a flower only. There would be no distinction between the upaman and the upameya. So always when an upama comes into the picture, when a metaphor comes into the picture, you must be careful in not assigning everything of the metaphor to the thing being referred to. Be very careful. Don't take it literally. It is not literal. It is a metaphor here. You will yourself see this metaphor of the sun breaking down at some point as we move forward, and then you will realize that what I told you at the back was correct. Okay, so let us start with the seventh one. Please repeat after me. Sa esha vaishvanaro. Sorry, 1 minute. Vishwarupaha prano agnerudayate.
Vishwarupaha pranoragnirudayate.
Hridayate.
Do you need to see the screen, Shyama?
I have a book.
You have a book. Okay. Tadetadruchabhyuktam. Ruchabhyuktam. Okay. So, sa esha vaishvanaraha. You can mute yourselves, please. Sa esha vaishvanaraha. Now we are talking of that Aditya, so that metaphor is continuing. So I will take up these next two stanzas with just the Aditya part as the sun part. Let us finish with the surface level thing, and then we will proceed with the soul part, so that there is no confusion between the two interpretations. So sa esha vaishvanaraha, this sun is vaishvanaraha. We'll go into the meanings one by one. Vishwarupaha pranaha agnihi, and it rises. udayate, this sun, which is Vaishwanara, Vishwarupa, Prana, and Agni, it rises. About this, the next following Richa also says. Richa is typically a Vedic mantra, and that too typically from the Rig Veda. But here we are, this what is going to follow is not actually a Vedic mantra. So it must be some other text which was contemporary in Maharishi Pipalad's time, or whenever this text was written. And so it has been called a Richa, some very famous text which was treated almost at par as the Vedas. So Vaishwanaraha, that which is found in all the naras, that is in all humans, and by extension, all beings. And Vishwarupaha, it is everybody's form is illuminated by the sun. So just coming back to Vaishwanara also, all beings are created by him, that is the sun. So then therefore the sun is kind of existing within them as prana, as we have seen earlier in the previous two stanzas which were there. Vishwarupaha, everybody's form becomes visible only because of the sun. Even if you consider other sources of light, all those sources of light you may have studied in science are finally, they all go back to taking their energy from the sun. So there is no light would have existed if there was no sun. And if there was no light, you could not see any form. So everybody's form is also because of the sun. Pranaha, he is the one who gives life to everybody. Agni, he has this energy which is there, which it is emitting all the time. Therefore, it is called also Agni. And it rises. So this is in the context of the sun. Now we will look at the next one. Before we look at the next one, we'll close this session and go into the next one. Okay. So I'm stopping the recording now.